Hey guys, we are back. Another week.
We're
A little
here,
later this week, but
but
that's
it's too
okay.
late. It's okay.
School's been busy. It's when you get used to a 4-day school week and then you have to go on Monday and stay late for a work for parent teacher conferences. It throws
Oh
the
man,
entire week off.
I bet that threw everything off. Yeah.
Yeah, and then tomorrow is a half day because of the festival that's going to be happening on Saturday. That is just there's going to be so much traffic that the school almost has to like leave at noon to get all the buses through
hmm
because the buses cause traffic anyway when they're all leaving at the same time. They have to stop traffic.
Oh,
And so
that's gonna be.
they release us at noon so that way we have enough time to get out.
That makes sense.
But that means that I get
Speaking
to
of
go pick
Saturday, I
up
meant to
lunch.
tell you
So
this,
that's
but
good.
after my MRI on Saturday, we're gonna head down to Versailles and see what all's still open. I go early in the morning at 10, so we will be back as soon as
Sweet.
possible. So we
Cool.
can chat more about that off camera. But yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Sweet. Awesome.
Um, I finally caught up on everything. I I do 3 YouTube videos a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I scheduled out all every week of October, every YouTube video. So that's like 4 times. That's like 12. It's a lot of videos. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
did one post every day for social media for the entire month of October. I scheduled out all 4 newsletters every Saturday for both of my newsletters. So that's whatever that is. And I finally got that done. And then my friend was like, let's do a writing challenge, 7,000 words in 7 days. And I'm like,
That's
I
cool
just freed up
though.
my time. I need to get back into my book.
Yeah.
And I was stuck in my book. And for some reason, it lit a fire underneath me. And so I'm like, you know what? I have just spent this whole week just writing and just immersed
That's
in my book
awesome.
and reading, of course. So I'm like,
That's
it's been
awesome.
nice. I'm like, I'm taking the whole month of October off, and that's
That
that.
is
And I'm not
worth
doing
it.
anything. So, but
Yeah.
first month off since I started self-publishing, so it's like it's long coming, I guess.
Yes. Oh, my window was came up on the wrong window. We were black for
Mm.
like 2 seconds. That's because it was showing Chrome, but it wasn't recording Chrome, so it was like, ah, what is
Right.
happening?
If anybody was paying attention that closely to notice, then they're diehard
Excuse
fans
me.
again.
Excuse me, your screen went black for like 3 seconds. It's like, I'm
Now I want
sorry.
to talk
I'm
about
sorry.
this just the rest of the time. Oh my gosh. I needed you and books and just this chat and just the
Yeah.
complete silliness. Like, oh my gosh, so refreshing.
Yes. Okay.
Also, it's October, which is I love Halloween from a fantasy creature spooky like
Mm-hmm.
it puts me in such a
Yeah.
vibe. I have the I'm getting a surgery on October 8th for anybody who's listening. So that's kind of hanging over my head, but I'm like still excited for October and it means fall is here. Like I'm a fall girly. I
Yeah.
love fall. It's so
Me too.
fantastic. So, but yeah.
Beautiful colors.
Um
The colors in fall are
so
so pretty.
I know it's just such a vibe. I really
Mm-hmm.
love it. Well, obviously, you and I read both of these books at the same time. I don't know why I put them in the back, but here we
Yeah.
are. We
Yeah.
read both of these. I just finished this one minutes before we got on here, so that's
Yeah.
very fresh in my mind. Um,
My head's been so shoved into school right now that I don't get much more than a chapter or so read, a couple chapters
mhm.
read a night. So I am
I was with it last week when I was at that same part, so I totally get it.
yeah.
Um,
Like it's just by the time I get
I
home,
was,
I'm just like and I get
mhm.
home, I get din I just I it's weird and it's like teachers will get it, but it's like I will zone out for at least 2 hours after I get I'll zone out for a bit when I like right after the kids leave, and then I'm like, okay, it's almost 4, I need to leave, and so I'll leave and go home, and then when I'm at home, I'll zone out until like from like 4 to like 6:30, and that's when I'm like, okay, I need to
Let's
start
just
getting
give your
dinner.
brain been on,
Yeah.
and you've been so promising, and
And
you just
so
need to like
yeah, and so
brain
but
off.
then and I'm very routine person. I get that from my dad. My dad is the same way and it's bad. But
I'm too.
but like and then queso comes on at 9, and so by the time I get done eating, dishes are made, my lunch is made for the next day, and then queso comes on, and then I've read and watched his streams before, but there's sometimes where I'm like really engaged with his streams, and there's other times where I'm just like I can have him on in the background and then be reading, and it's fine and it works. Um, And I think what's making it hard too is that I didn't this the audiobook for this one's not on Hoopla, so I can't listen when I can't physically hold a book. I can't listen to the story and keep reading that way. And so it's just kind of like I'm going at a really slow pace because I can't
Understandable.
supplement the reading, the listening and reading part into it.
Yeah. But normally that helps you like speed through the other books and
Yeah.
stuff. But I know for me, I slowed down last week because I was really into Sims, and I was
Mhm.
using Sims to inspire my story because it's actually like a real life story. And like I don't use anything from Sims, but I tell you what, the Sims doing random things sparks completely different ideas
So,
in my head. Like their house got lit on fire, and I'm like, I'm writing a suspense novel. Some bad guy's gonna light their house on fire. This is a plot point, okay? And it
there we
was
go.
like, the random Sims event. And so
Yeah.
it was like, and it's just like I had so much fun with that and stuff. But then I had where I'm like, okay, what book do I want to be reading when I'm recovering from my surgery? And I had that underneath me. And I hit a part where it kind of got a little bit faster paced because I
Mhm.
slowed down in the middle. And so I was able to just, I didn't even notice I was getting close till yesterday. And I was like, oh, I could actually knock this out tonight. And
Mhm.
then last night I didn't finish it. Because I like to have enough time after I finish reading a book to do
Yeah.
my review immediately and then type it and then post them. And it was like I could have finished the book, but I could
Yeah.
not have had time for the review. So I waited till tonight. I was like, I can do that before we do our
See,
check-in thing and get
that's
it done.
where it's
So
so interesting, like the differences between the two of us is because if I do my review right after I finish, I will be coming off of a high of reading it. And so, like, my review will be, oh, this book is amazing. This is amazing. Everything's amazing. Everything is lovely. It's fantastic. But then it's like, after I can let it simmer for a bit, and then I can make a more realistic review that actually sounds more
that
genuine
makes
and
sense.
not just
Yeah, I've
like,
noticed that with me, I've started to do that where it's like 5-star read, 5-star read, this is a five
yeah.
star read. And but like for I can but I don't remember the details if I wait. And then I can still be like, hey, objectively, 5-star read, but this ticked me off. Like
Mm-hmm.
I rage quit twice. I
Yeah.
didn't rage quit because I'm still reading every day. But like I was like, okay, I'm done reading for the night. I'm gonna come back to this
Slow down.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then this one was so faster paced. It reminded me of like Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, where it was like right when the stuff would happen
Things
that
slow
would
down
tick
for
me
a
off,
bit
it would
and
be
then it
like
would like
we're
spike up
right
again.
back going to thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you knew one of those things. It was the spice. Like this the earlier spice. It was
The
like, we have
first,
this problem, but it's
so
solved by a bed sheet.
yeah, it
So
just, I feel like there should have been some kind of consequence for just the bed sheet. I feel like there should have been some kind of like, like the first time when she touched him, he full on went almost comatose. It felt like he was like not good, but it's like I feel like if she was going to do that one that early on, one I felt like it just kind of took away from the like him like lusting like what's that yearning, it took away some of the
learning.
yearning there. But then it's like there should have been some kind of effect because of the closeness, like almost like a almost like a drug kind of effect maybe, where he's kind of like out of
Mm-hmm.
it because of the effect of her being close like that. Like I don't know, I would have added some other like but this, like they can be close,
Yeah.
they can be
100%.
almost intimate but not, but there's this one thing that keeps like this one negative that keeps popping up, or
Mm-hmm.
something.
I
It
feel like the build up to like to the if you're just talking about the spice
yeah,
storyline here,
yeah,
the build up to the final spicy moment would have like worked more powerfully so if they had been
yeah,
yearning this whole time.
yeah.
Um,
Which
but
I
the
haven't got there
war,
yet,
like,
but I am
yeah,
on.
but the war is so heavy in this book.
Oh
I am
yeah,
loving like
yeah.
the
I'm on
the
chapter
mythology. It's
35 right
still
now. They just found out that
35.
they just found out that the keeper was dead.
Okay, I put the second on backwards. So I was like trying, I was like, why can't I read that? I was like, oh, it's upside down. So we're
That's
just
funny.
gonna roll with it. Yeah, I did my review that way. Okay, that's 45. We're getting closer. But yeah, it's very myth heavy, and honestly, the whole book feels like I'm reading a myth. And I love that it's so different from like the first set of
Hmm.
duology, and like it's really interesting because it's like that one was
Yeah,
like vampires and vampire politics,
yeah.
and this one is like it
Mythology
feels like
feels
you're
very
reading a myth.
mythology.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah, like really mythology
Well, and
heavy.
it feels so much more complicated than the first set. And it's like it okay, hear me out for a second. When Rain pops in for the first time, they're in the house of Shadow when they're getting ready to do all
Mhm,
this. It almost felt weird because it was
mhm,
like her past coming. I don't know. It just felt weird because it felt like Rain and the story that we've had with Rain felt it was just a completely different, like you were saying, it's a completely different vibe. And so when Rain pops up, it's like, oh, I wasn't like my brain had to like for a second
adjust.
had to adjust for a second
Yeah.
because I was just so used to not having Rain his personality mixed into all of
Mhm,
it, and it's just it felt like off for a second, but not in a bad way. It just like it took me a bit to be like, okay,
mhm.
Rain is making a cameo here. Now I don't know if he comes back more later, but it was just interesting, and
Yeah.
it definitely
Like,
felt different
um,
in that moment. Anyway.
yeah, that's kind of how I felt when, spoiler alert, by the way, for the ending of the third book and into this book. But that's how I felt when Vincent first came in, and like Vincent being
Yeah,
involved. I was like, oh,
I could see
okay,
that
like
too.
you're here and you're helping, and
Yeah.
like I got used to it. But like the first time that Vincent was
Mhm.
really like helping her, and they're actually like traveling a little bit together, I was like,
Yeah.
that it kind of was a little bit disjointed. So,
Yeah.
um,
And he feel
yeah,
Vincent feels like a very morally gray character. Like I don't like, and
yeah,
I don't know what his plans are for like the end of the book, but it just he could either be making I just don't know. I can't really predict what he's going to do because
it's a really unpredictable character.
cuz
Yeah.
he literally the only person he genuinely cares about is Araya, and
Hmm.
that's it. And it's like it's just he doesn't care for Rain. He hates Rain. He he feels it's for like at least for what I've seen from him interacting with Misha so far, he feels very um indifferent towards Araya. Like he doesn't like her, but
Hmm.
he doesn't hate her purely because he needs her for something. And it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
She did a really good job with writing him in a way that's very hard to predict, and I know that if he does something in the end, it's going to take me by surprise for sure because I I can't really with him I can't really pick up because like it'll hint like he'll show up in mirrors from time to time, and it's just and it I don't know, I just
Mhm.
can't really, at least at the moment, it's hard to really predict. I think I have an idea of what's going to happen with Asar the more he grabs the pieces. I have an
That's
idea.
kind of how I was feeling
I have an idea.
when I was reading.
I'm afraid Naxia is going to. I don't know. I don't want it to become into like I don't know. I could see it turning into a. I'm just gonna babble for a second.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna see because when he put on the mask, um, is it what's the guy's name? There's so many
Alaris.
A. Alaris. There's so many A.
I can't keep
Atraxis,
the A name
Alaris.
straight.
There's
It's
so
like
many A's.
nervous.
Asar. There's so many A names.
It's
But
the god, the sun god is the guy that I'm like, what, something. I
Atraxis,
just
yeah.
can't, his name.
So
Yeah,
there's
I can't keep his
Atraxis,
name. But
um, Aster-
Isar and Alaris.
Alaris. Okay. So
Yeah,
I, because Alaris was Naxia's lover, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Alaris was still kind
Former
of
god of death.
present in the mask when he put it on, and so that's what I kind of figured out. Like that, the person talking to him when he put on the mask was Alaris, or like
Yeah.
the faint echo of, whether it's his soul or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. There's something.
Hmm.
It kind of makes me think of like Harry Potter, Horcrux type vibes.
Or kind of vibes.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
yeah.
so it's
Very
like
much.
my main thinking was like several chapters earlier when they first introduced the mask bit because it mentions that he acts different, and so I'm thinking he's probably going to have some kind of mental battle with Alaris. But I think I'm
Hmm.
thinking that Naxia is probably going to throw a hissy fit with
I
Misha
was like,
being in
doesn't she
love
always?
with Misha. Well,
She
yeah,
threw a hissy
Sheila's
fit in
fair. She
the
always
previous
does
one.
that. But it's like I
Yeah.
think Misha being in love with Asar and Asar trying to take Alaris's
Mm-hmm.
place, there's going to be this weird interaction where honestly I could see Naxia trying to make Asar what a Misha it was for the sun god. I could see that happening, or some kind of very twisted variation of that. But I don't know if it's going
Yeah.
to be successful or not. I hope
Hmm.
not.
There's so many at this point in the story. There's like so many different things that
Yeah.
could go, and like my
Mhm.
brain was right in that mode too, where I was wondering like where this was gonna, like
Yeah.
how this is gonna play out and stuff. Because
Yeah.
it's so creative though. Like it just it's so
Mhm.
and like also on page 226 when Misha essentially compelled Rain to leave.
Mhm.
Like my heart
Oh yeah.
shattered
Oh yeah. That was
for
so
her and
sad.
for Renee. I was like, and I wanted closure. Like I was like, I didn't know
I
if he
just
was gonna
wanted
come
her
back
to
to
give the
play like
basic
you. And so
explanation, just to kind of explain in
yeah,
basic terms what was happening. Like, we have to go here and we have to do this. But at the same time, if she would have said something to him, Rain would have
he would
dropped everything
absolutely
and went with
involved.
her. And she knew for a
Yeah,
fact that the kingdom that he's now in charge of is fragile enough that he can't afford to leave, but he would have.
yeah.
And
And it's just like, and then my brain was like, imagine his perspective when he gets back, realizes he's being compelled, and like
mhm.
what that conversation is like, and that realization, and like,
Yeah.
and then how bad she felt over it. I was like,
Mhm.
I was just so many feels. It was so
Yeah.
good.
And then it's like
Oh,
my thoughts are, if Asar succeeds, and I'm hoping that that's what happens, is he succeeds and kind of takes the mantle of this new god. Does that mean, like, is Misha gonna come back to life? Because that's another goal that Asar has, is to bring her back and kind of redeem himself from the last lover that he tried to bring back and like utterly failed. Which I think that would be kind of poetic
mhm.
too. But
Yeah, I see that.
like I can see how it's always a happy ending type of thing, but it's like, I'm sorry, I don't want to end a book being a heartbreak. I don't. I'm just not that type of reader.
Yeah.
But I'm a hopeless
Well, and when
romantic at
you
the end
have
of the
two
day.
people who've been through so much heartbreak, it's like they
Yeah.
deserve you want a happy ending for
Hmm.
characters who've been through a lot like that. It was like Rain
Yeah.
and Araya fought for their kind of happy ending kind of thing, so it was like I can see the same
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Um
I don't think it's going to
and
be given
also
to them
again it just
easily, and I feel like there's going to be some conditions to it. I hope. I hope there's some
mhm,
conditions, but it's like early, just some kind
yeah.
of like they're together, but this, or whatever.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. And my brain, because I've read obviously a lot of Sarah J. Maas this year, most of the Throne of Glass series.
Mm-hmm.
So my brain is like comparing. And I just one thing that I love is just how the girls get their I'm a girl boss moment and their epic
Mm-hmm.
strong moment that you can feel for and be like, yes,
Yes.
slay queen, let's
Yeah.
go,
It doesn't feel in
but
your face.
it doesn't demean the guys. So like Asar, like the
Yeah.
guys still get their
Yes. Still
I'm
have
a
their
big
moment.
bad boy and I'm gonna do
Yeah.
my thing
Exactly.
and this is my book and this is
Yeah.
my plot and it feels very equally spread and
Yeah.
I like really
Like
really
a true,
appreciated that.
it's a true example of like gender equality in a book. Both can
Yeah,
be bad A's at the same time, for lack of a better word.
yeah.
Like, you don't have to make one person horrible in order to make the other person great. Like, you don't have
Hmm.
to drag one person in the mud or make them say something because they're hurt and make themselves look bad to make the other person a strong character. And I guess it's just
Hmm.
the difference in writers, to be completely honest with you. And I'm
Hmm.
like you.
Different
It's like,
style too.
I feel like by the I'm really curious to read a completed series of hers. Like, I'm excited for her to do the recover, like do her new covers for her Daughter of No World series, because I'm curious to see what that world's like, and two, if we can see some like parallels in her writing, or like with Crown of Naxia series, or like, I'm just curious to
Hmm.
see how this series ends, to be completely honest with you, because there's so much going on, and I know we still have two books left, but and
That's kind of
probably
that's the spot that I'm at
and probably
right
another
now.
side book put in there too. So there's technically probably going to be three more, um,
Hmm. He always does
because
one in between, so there's probably going
mhm.
to be one in between this one and the next one. So
Let me
I
look. Um, because
yeah.
I know she's posted in um in her Instagram about her plans, like the upcoming books. Yeah, so there's book 5 and 6 is what it says, but I'm assuming there's going to be another one there somewhere.
Another novella somewhere.
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah, I could see that. So, um, but yeah, overall, I would say I really like, obviously not spoilers since you haven't finished it yet, but I really enjoyed it and it did everything that I was hoping and more. It exceeded expectations and was a really good ending. And it was enough that the annoyance with the spicy stuff docked a star, but like it made up for that. So it ended up being a 5-star read for me. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, and it kind of, I'm just really interested for the next book.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's pretty much my September read was those 2 books. That is all I read in September. I'm pretty sure. I need to check my Goodreads real quick.
Yeah. Let me
I
do.
feel like there was one more at the beginning, but I think I was reading Outlander, but I never did finish it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think
Let me pull up.
so.
Um, monthly. No. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so for September, it was just those 2 for me. So I haven't finished it though, so it's just the one.
Yeah.
But I'm so close to finishing my goal anyway. I feel like I've 23 out of 26 for my goal this year. So I feel like I'm close enough that I don't have to stress out just yet. Now, if it's like November and I haven't made any progress, which is highly unlikely, but you know, when it gets to like November, then I'm like, I have 2 months of the year left.
See, my reading goal is really interesting because I reviewed all of the short stories that make up the Assassin's Blade individually, so it seems like I'm ahead of my reading goal, but in my head I'm counting Assassin's Blade as 1 book.
Yeah.
And that means that I actually needed 2 books for September, and so until I finished this one I was behind. Finishing this one so close to September means that okay, I've still got a chance to read 2 more books in October and get and stay on track to do 2 books every month. So it's just like it's interesting. I have to calculate it myself because my Goodreads is now off on count because it's counting all of the Assassin's Blade stories.
Yeah.
But I wanted to review them individually too, so I was like,
yeah,
but
that's fair.
So, but I guess we can start with our TBR list for October. My main one.
Okay, hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
I did I was gonna make this into a short, but I just never got it posted, and then I deleted the video, and then I'm like, I'll mention it here. The school book fair was back last week, so I ended up getting Powerless and Reckless, the first 2. So
that'll be fun.
We're getting closer to being able to read Powerless and then the Red Queen and comparing. So that was my short of book haul. I'll mention my other one in our TBR list. So.
Yeah, I actually had a sport book haul as well. So we went shopping yesterday. We went to Target and I was just browsing and I happened to see this and it's a signed edition of it. So Rebecca Yarrow signed it, but it also has end paper art and I'm just like, and then the sprayed edges and the end paper art. And then, like I said, it's signed. Let me find the actual, somewhere in here. She signed it. There we go. There it is.
Oh, cool.
And also I remember when I was working on my military romantic suspense covers, we kept getting comments about how the, what are they called? Dog tags were wrong. And some people suggested doing blank ones. And so I found it interesting that hers is like blank. And I was like, so blank ones are okay because that's what we settled on is blank ones. But to me, it didn't look right. And I was like, okay, blank ones are okay because major author, she did that. And like I've been doing, I read the opening because I tend to just buy books and then not like it. And I forgot I was in Target. I was just immediately captured. And this was after I realized I was close to finishing The Fallen and Kiss of Dust. So I was like, that may be my next read. But I got it. And so it's right along the lines of what I'm reading. Mine has more suspense. I think hers is probably going to be more drama focused, like a Nicholas Sparks book, for example. But
that would be cool though.
But it's still, and so far the guy's voice is like military dude voice, and I'm just
Sweet.
and plus she's actually married to somebody in the military, so
Yes.
it's like I can learn
Sweet.
because I feel like it's gonna be
Yeah.
really realistic.
You'll have to let me
But that
know
was
what her
my
contemporary books are like.
yeah, for sure. And I guess I forgot that she did Fourth Wing, so it's like I already know I like her. But with my surgery coming up on October 8th, I need a special book to help me because I know emotionally it's going to be really trying, and physically, obviously, if I can even read, I don't know how this month's going to go. So I may not end up reading anything. But I need to catch up on Anathalion. So this is Anathalion book 3, Water
Yeah.
Falling. And she had like God inspires her writing, so she has a lot of like just
Biblical
really
truths popped
spiritual,
in there. Yeah.
powerful moments, and I feel like it's like the book that I'm gonna need to have with
Yeah.
me and read. She's also writing just finished writing a book, and I've been hearing her talk about it as she's been writing the book, and that one's like it's her most powerful book yet, and I'm
Sweet.
like I want to read it, but she's published I think 2 more books in this series before she can publish that one because it's a
Oh, okay.
companion, but it ties into one of the other ones. Like, oh, and she's like, I need to read it to you. I'm like, just read it to me through the messenger, and so I'll be listening to that. But I'm just like, I I really want to
Mm-hmm.
start The Last Letter, but I feel like this is the book I need to be reading during my surgery. So I may
Yeah.
do like an in tandem and
Yeah.
like jump between them.
That works.
Um, yeah, and so if I do finish that one, I'm going to try to stick with it and read the next one after that, which is Water Rising. So also
Sweet.
beautiful hardback cover, and this is
Ooh.
like a special edition, so it's got all kinds of special stuff
Oh,
in the
cool.
back. So,
Awesome.
yep.
So, on top of reading finishing the one that I'm currently reading,
Mm-hmm.
I did go ahead and cave and end up getting Alchemized because it was at Walmart. It's not the the pretty sprayed edge, but it was one of those things like I was on the fence about reading it regardless, and so I'm like I just went through and I just read the blurb and like it was just its own book, and then I read it. I'm like it does sound really interesting because like she was taken, and so she lost her memory, and so she doesn't really have any memory. She has like memory loss for the months leading up to her capture, and so it says like is she truly and insignificant as she appears, or is her lost memories hiding some vital piece? The resistance's final gambit. So it's kind of sounded interesting. Like she was taken by the enemy because her side of the war lost, and so she was captured, but the moment like the months leading up to her being captured her memories were taken, and so it's like aftermath of war. And some people were saying oh it's like it's a like they're trying to throw romance into it, but a lot of people are like it's a post-war tragedy with a little bit of romance thrown in, and so it makes me really intrigued to see. And apparently a lot of people have cried while reading it, so it's like makes me any book that makes me feel big emotions I'm like okay, we'll give it a try. So
I can see that.
I'm interested in it. Also like the inside bit is really pretty.
Cool.
So, and it's weird, it's funny because I saw some people being like they were holding it up to Kingdom of Ash, which was like 800 or 900 pages, and this one's like over 1,000, and they're like how is it smaller, how is it thinner? And I'm like well, one, the pages feel different, and two, this one's taller than Kingdom of Ash, so you're gonna
Yeah,
have
like that's a 6x9.
yeah
Yeah, like
yeah. So it's
so
like for example, like if you put
it
these
was
two
even
up
the
together,
first
they're definitely so it's like of course they're gonna
yeah.
look different, but
So it's much larger because if it was Kingdom of Ash size, it would be much bigger. If it's already a 6x9 at 1,000 pages,
yeah
that would be like 1,500 almost. Like that would be a crazy amount of
yeah
pages
yeah
as a 5x8.
yeah. So the I always take the acknowledgments out of like the thing, but it's like 1,024 pages like at the end of the
Yeah,
epilogue.
when I turned to the end of it, when I saw it in the store, it was like 10:30. It was like 1,030. I was
Yeah.
like, "Yep, nope,
But like,
not me."
but the
I already
pages,
have to.
the pages are like those style of
I
pages that I
felt it.
love.
Yes,
Oh,
it
makes me excited.
I was a fan of typing pages.
Like,
Yeah,
it's so weird. It's okay. I am one of those weird people that there's a certain type of like book pages that I absolutely love, and it's like it's almost like a text, like the old textbooks at school, like the slicky type pages. Those are my pages.
Mm-hmm.
And
They're really
this one
appealing.
kind of has, it's like a good blend between your like regular paper like book pages and like the slick textbook
Mhm.
pages, and it's great.
Right. That's great.
Okay, next one.
Um, Also, I forgot to mention that the last letter, it doesn't have a blurb, but from what I understand, his war buddy dies overseas and gives him like a letter, like a will. And the buddy's sister is a single mother raising kids alone. And he's like, she's too stubborn to ask for help.
Mm.
I need you to go help her and look out for her.
Oh,
And I think her and the friend became pen pals. And like she would
oh,
write to
cool.
him, like, my brother who I could write to, and he suggested you. So if
Yeah.
you don't
Oh,
reply, I won't
cool.
be offended. Sending you cookies, and if the cookies are gone, my brother ate them, so blame him. And it's like,
I love
and
that.
the Outlander prequel, Blood of My Blood, that one's like one of the couples is in World War I, and they're pen pals in that one,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how their relationship forms. Like this one's obviously like modern times, but like it gives me
Oh,
that
that's
vibe,
cool.
and that's one of my favorite relationships in
Yeah.
that show.
Yeah.
So it's just like really
If
sweet.
if
So
it's a good
also
book,
for,
you'll have to let me know so that way, which obviously you'll let me
I
know if
will
you love
maybe
it or
like
hate
a
it.
good one
But
to
you
dip,
know, like I
maybe
need
a
to
good
know
one
if it's
if it's
something I need
really
to
good. It may be
read.
one to dip your toes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may be a good one to dip your toes into the contemporary.
Yeah.
And also, I would talk about this one, but it's book 3 in a series. Um,
Yeah.
but they're continuing their journey to try to stop the evil throne and stuff. And so
Gotcha.
they're, I'm actually gonna have to get my head back in the plot line because it's been a while since I've read book 2.
Yeah.
So I forgot to mention those. That's probably all I'm going to read in the month, but I'm giving myself options because again, I don't know what's going to happen, how I'm going to feel. I don't know how bored I'm going to be.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to give myself plenty of options. I know when I went to Branson, I got this book, and it was one of those situations where I read the beginning and I loved what I read. Um, and I had the special edition of that one, but it was really expensive. So I asked them if they had a paperback, and they did. So I ended up getting it. Um, and what I loved was that when she listed the trigger warning, she's like, I want you to be able to go into this book blind, but if you really do want the trigger warning list, here it is on my website. And she
Oh, that's
gives the
cool.
like the website. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and it's
think
like,
Alchemized does that too, where they don't give the actual trigger warnings, but they're like, if you want to find the trigger warnings, they're here. Let's see. I love it when authors do that, when they're like, hey, by the way, yeah, so it's like this book is a work of fiction and explores many dark aspects of war and survival. Reader's discretion is advised. For more details, please see the back of the book for content notes. Oh, so it's like in the back, so you have to like flip to the back to see it. I like how she had it on our website and was like, hey, and it's also like a shameless plug, be like, hey, go check out my website anyway.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like really cool. But it's like Prince Tristan was never destined for the throne. That was always his brother Michael, the same brother responsible for both Tristan's tormented childhood and the scar that marks his face. When their father dies, Michael is set to assume the throne, and Tristan is set to steal it. The leader of the secret rebellion, Tristan, will stop at nothing to end his brother's reign. But when Michael's new betrothed, Lady Sarah, arrives, Tristan finds himself in the middle of a new kind of war. So like he falls for the brother's girl, but like
Ooh.
he's trying to steal his brother's throne. And already I really love Tristan's character based on what I've read in the
Yeah.
prologue when I got it in the thing. Morally gray, kind of antagonistic kind of guy character with a tormented childhood and backstory. And I'm like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
sold. Like you don't have to tell me much more than that, and I'm already in. So that would be my next one. If I happen to finish all of these by some miracle, that one's gonna be next on the list. So do you have any more on yours?
Um, a couple of repeats from last week. I also have the Rose in Chains from last week that I'm like, I still want to read this one. Um, it's kind of along a similar vibe a little bit, but this one she was sold to a family, so it's, I don't know. So I'm kind of falling out of this one a little bit, but I'm still leaving there just in case I want to read it. The Immortal Consequences one was still kind of fascinated me. I remember it fascinated me, but it was kind of like a college, like an academy, fantasy academy kind of thing. So I still want to read that one. So I still have a couple. But an interesting thing, I did have an extra Audible credit, and they had this like 2-for-1 thing, which was like a selected list of books. And so the Red Queen's audiobook was on there, so I went ahead and got that one. And then for my other one, it was a book called When the Sea Came Alive, like an oral history of D-Day, but it was like it's narrated by a full cast. So I'm excited. I'm a little excited because I'm like, this is gonna sound kind of interesting. It's
Yeah, I was thinking I may need some
a
audiobooks
visceral drama. It's
for my
called
surgery, so like
yeah, it's called
I would love that.
a visceral drama. When the sea came alive is the most comprehensive account of D-Day that we have yet to see, and an unforgettable one, fitting tribute to the men and women of the greatest generation. So I'm excited. You and I both love history, and it surprised me when it said narrated. It has like a couple people, and then it says full cast, and I'm like, okay, this will be fun.
Yeah, I'm really actually interested in doing that because
yeah. So it sounded interesting.
So good.
So I'm
But
like,
I was thinking
okay.
that audiobooks would be better for me when I'm recovering, because I don't know how I'm gonna feel trying because I always put a pillow on my stomach and then I put the book on the pillow, and that's how I read, and that's obviously where the surgery site's gonna be. So I was like,
gonna be,
and so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read. So audiobooks would be easier, and so I thought about trying to do that and find audiobooks, so that would be a nice one.
I think there's like a you can also like download, I think Kindle has an app that you can download onto your computer. Like it's an older app. But I'm thinking there's something like that you might be able to try too, maybe. I'll have to look into that some more afterwards, but
yeah. That would be something. Yeah. Well, my last two that I was gonna do, just to add on, is I was thinking about, again, I need Christian stuff, I think, when I recover from my surgery. So I was thinking about trying Lord of the Rings. This is all 3-in-1s. I'm obviously only gonna read book one. So I thought about trying it because I've watched the movies, and I always compare my books to like Lord of the Rings just because I'm going from the movie inspiration, but I'm like, I've never actually read them, and I need to. Like, I want to, and I need to. And also, I've seen some Lord of the Rings reels that was like really emotionally powerful and impactful. And I think I told you this. Like, I feel like so much when I listen to those, and it's just like something about it just feels very spiritual almost, even though it's like not like it is. And it's just like, so that was my next potential. And then last, I got this a while back, The Wolf and the Woodsman, and like it's one of those where it has like I love that it's like the cover that's like art on the cover. And so it's got the pretty decent end papers, but the art on the cover is like on the dust jacket and the frayed edges. And the blurb is like, the villagers blame her. Her father was like a kind of a bad guy, it seems like, and so monsters attack the woodsman, and they're captive, slaughtering everyone but her and the one-eyed captain. So the two have to rely on each other, even though they're kind of like enemies. And it sounds really good. So, and then I know I did get the Viking one on my Kindle, but I keep forgetting I have it because I forget all the books on my Kindle. So just as a freebie, I may insert something from my Kindle if I want to as well.
The Fate Inked in Blood, was it that one?
Okay. Yeah. I started reading that, and again, to see if I would like it before I bought it, and it seemed really good too. So I may insert one for my.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my TBR list for October, very loosely. And also Halloween may change my mood too, so because I may get in more of a.
That's fair.
I know Mr. Ballin released his second graphic novel, and that would be really quick and easy for me to read. So if I'm feeling really bad, then I may buy his book and get it. I just don't have it with me, but that's another free insert that I'm giving myself. Because again, October, that would be like perfect to read around Halloween.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah. So what was your first?
I'm not sure. I did find it interesting that John Boyega the guy that played Finn in Star Wars, had some quotes about what he would have done, what he would have changed with the sequel trilogy, and it was literally everything that the fan base was upset about that they did, and I just thought it was very almost poetic and ironic, because at the start, like
Yeah.
his character, I'm like, he's gonna be a Jedi and it's gonna be fantastic, and we're gonna have like some ex stormtrooper Jedi, and this is gonna be really cool and really different. And then they just kind of sidelined his character, and I'm just like,
They did his character dirty. They
so
really
dirty,
did.
so dirty. But let me look up. Let me get this link open very quickly because I sent it to myself because I'm like, we're gonna talk about this. Um, but yeah, he essentially said, if I was a producer on Star Wars from the beginning, you would have been a whole completely different thing. He said, Boyega said, according to Popverse, it would be mad. First of all, we're not getting rid of Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, all these people. We're not doing that. The first thing we're going to do is fulfill their story, fulfill their legacy. We're going to make a good moment of handing on the baton. And then he said, our new characters will not be OP'd, overpowered in the movies. He said they won't just grab stuff and know what to do with it. No, you've got to struggle like every other character in the franchise. I do it. I do that. And then a little bit later, he said, I'd look at the Old Republic stories and see what we can add to the continuation of that. I would definitely want to see Force Unleashed stories in there. He said, I would try to explain the Star Wars universe as much as possible while respecting the lore. I thought that was huge. If we're expanding the lore, we have to do it within the respective boundaries that stay true. I love that. The concept of respecting what's already been put into place. Everything Disney did not do.
It's something they don't understand. Yeah.
I just loved how he worded that, and I'm just like, and it just makes me wish that we could just retcon everything and go back.
Yeah.
And that's where
It'd
it's
be
like,
nice.
in my head, the legends are always going to be my own true personal canon. Like, I refuse to accept the sequels as canon in my head. Luke will always marry Mara. I forget her last name. I always forget her
Mara
last
Jade.
Jade. Leia will always have twins and a younger son. One of them is always going to turn to the dark side. That whole storyline is so rich, and I refuse to let it go. So that's just where I'm at with Star Wars. It's sad, but I'm not nearly as excited for things anymore. And
I'm not either. Like, my thing, like, we went and saw episode 3 in theaters, and I was more hyped about that than
me
anything
too.
else that they put
I
out
feel
for a
like a
long time.
majority of
It's like,
America
so
was that
enthusiastic
way.
for Star Wars is fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it did really well for like a re-release type thing.
It
So
did.
that's pretty much where I'm at too. I'm excited for the new Darth Vader novel in November. I will
Me
say, like, I've
too.
been waiting for that all year.
I
I feel like we've
know.
been waiting for that. Brimstone, also, that reminds me of one of my things I wanted to talk about. Callie Hart released a reel. It was like 49 days until Brimstone comes out, and this was
Oh.
the other day, 2 days ago. So now we're at 47 days until Brimstone comes out. She's doing a countdown
Okay. Cool.
on her Instagram. I was like, 47 days until Brimstone. I'm so excited. And I need the audiobook, and I got to do a whole Quicksilver thing. And I need to reread Quicksilver with the edition that you gave me in the audiobook that I have forever. Maybe that'd be a good one to do. But so that one was
still haven't read that one yet. I need to read that one because I haven't done that yet.
Yeah. The fancy version, or just like the, because I thought you read Quicksilver.
Asar's POV, the audiobook.
Oh, those. I need to buy those too. You know what? I'm gonna talk to my husband tonight, because that would be another good one to listen to.
Yeah.
Because I haven't done the audiobook for them. So my little thing was this post that I saw on Facebook, and the person who posted it was like, well, that's a whole new level of Faye Sand, which is like Rhysand and Feyre's ship name. And she did the eye emoji, like the one looking over. And she posted this, it looks like Tumblr, like a Tumblr thread. And it was like, is this Rhys and Akatar? ? And it had a picture from A Court of Thorns and Roses, and it highlights this quote. And then Sarah J. Maas commented in response. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about, because I think it's going to blow your mind. It blew my mind. So it says, this is Feyre, obviously her perspective. The snow was falling thick and merciless, already up to my knees as I pulled the bowstring back further and further until my arms trembled. This is the highlighted part. Behind me, a shadow lurked, no, watched. I didn't dare turn to look at it to see who might be within that shadow, observing, not as the wolf stared at me across the clearing. And then it says, is this Reese in Akatar? And Sarah J. Maas said, finally, someone has discovered this. I am seriously clapping right now. So essentially, Rhysand was like watching her, or like his presence was there because like he would daydream about her when she first like killed the wolf in the beginning, is what it looks like.
Oh,
and I'm like,
okay.
what?
For some reason, my tired brain was thinking you were talking about Aelin from Throne of Glass, and I'm like, how did he get there? I was so lost. And my face said, like, my face reads my entire thoughts. So my face right then was so, like little sparks coming out. I'm like,
well, I'm doubting myself because maybe I said Aelin instead of Feyre, but I'm talking about Feyre from Akatar.
That is my post-middle school child all day long brain. That's just me. It's okay. But yes, I did see that though. I did see that, and I'm like, it does make a lot of sense because he did say that he would daydream, and he would, because he was there when he saw her paint the dresser. Okay, side note. I know people think it's funny, but it honestly low-key kind of ticks me off when people make jokes about Feyre being a horrible artist and everyone else just kind of going along with it because they don't have the heart to tell her she's a bad artist. That really bothers me. It shouldn't.
I thought she was a good artist.
Yes, that's the thing. It never says that she's a bad artist, but the fan base has come up with this fan theory that she's actually a horrible artist and nobody has the heart to tell her, and she's just drawing horrible paintings all over this house. And I know it started as a joke, but there's beauty in the fact that she loves art. And I'm like, can we not just have a really great artist? Can she not have that for herself? Like, it just literally, she grew up with sisters bullying her all day long and forcing her to do things all day long and not helping her. And then we have a fan base reading the books that is also trying to make it out, like, make fun of her and act as if she's this horrible artist. It rubs me the wrong way every time I read stuff like that. I haven't read stuff like that in ages. I haven't seen it in ages, but I haven't really been headfirst into Akatar stuff here lately. Notice that my phone is probably listening to me, so I'll probably get a bunch of Akatar stuff now. But you know, it's gonna happen. But So also my phone that may or may not be listening to me. I don't want to see anything about Asar. No, not Asar. That's a different series. Azriel and Elaine. I don't want to see it. I will mark that I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to see it. I'll mark that I don't want to see it. So don't show it to me. Thank you.
That's funny.
To my phone that may or not be listening.
That's funny. They are 100%. I'm almost convinced they can read our thoughts, because I've had even instances where I had a thought and they sent me an ad, and I'm like, all right,
oh my god,
reached into the thought,
breaking the third wall of life that is life. It's funny.
Yeah. And so the next person commented, was like, so this means Reese broke into her mind and made her fire that arrow, because you can see that she said she didn't have control of her fingers when she fired the arrow, potentially, was like somebody else's theory. But the only thing that Sarah J. Maas confirmed was that he was there, like either in presence or mind. Like, she didn't say, but she's like, finally someone's caught this. And that's all she said.
I
so
think
it still isn't.
For me, I feel like that's just the beginning of their bond. That's just the fragile state that was their mate bond, that she was able to feel him there, but she had no idea what he was doing. I think she was just acting. The reason why
didn't really know her either.
And the reason why it says that she didn't really have control over her fingers, I think her body was acting out of pure survival instinct. That's what I'm thinking, is that she was acting almost on autopilot. And it's like, we've always been on that moment where we, like, our brain goes into autopilot and we feel like we don't have really control over what we're doing. And so it's like, I think people are trying to read too far into it. I don't think Reese is some kind of, like, because I've seen theories where people are saying that Reese is actually the bad guy and in this whole story and whatever, and he's just manipulating people this entire time. I'm like, no, we're not reaching that far. But
Yeah.
I would say him controlling her and forcing her to kill the wolf, I feel like that's reaching. At least in my head, it feels like they're reaching a little bit there with that one. But for me, we know that they're mates. And I would
And at this
say,
time, he didn't know that she was real. He
yeah.
would see visions of her, and it helped him through what he was going
Yes.
through, but he
Yes.
never believed she was real until he
Yeah.
saw her
Yeah.
that one festival and was like, there you are.
Yeah.
I've been looking for you. But I need to reread and listen to Akatar.
Yeah.
See, just like, it's like I don't know, it's like the first book you've ever read, like I'll probably never remember mine, but like the first thing that had an impact, your first love, that kind of feeling.
Yeah.
For me, it's like Akatar got me back into reading again, and they were my first romantasy couple, because I didn't read romantasy. I read like Twilight, which isn't romantasy, not the genre we have today at least. And so it's like they always will just hold this special place in my heart that I don't think anything will ever top. Like, I love all these other characters and things, but it's just don't think anything's ever gonna top that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you can go now. We'll go back and forth like we always do.
Okay. I honestly don't think I have a whole lot. Let me look on. I probably should have had this pulled up ahead of time.
One of the few times I actually had a bunch.
I wanted to say I thought I saved something. Oh, the 20th anniversary of the novelization of the Star Wars Revenge of the Sith came out, and it's amazing, but it's also like stupidly expensive. It's like $60. But it is like, very gorgeous.
Sprayed edges.
It is it's like sprayed edges, like the hardcover is like the outside card cover is pictures. It's like it's beautiful. Look at that. It's beautiful.
What is it 30th or 20th anniversary?
I think it's 20. It release date is October 14th, so it's not out yet. It's still pre-order on Amazon, but the pre-order is like $50 or $60. So, but yes, so I'm like, wow.
Oh my lord! Oh my god!
I know. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Unless we want to talk about a biscuits and gravy casserole that I've saved. I don't really have much book stuff this time. My head's been in Raise the Beef.
The picture. What is this? The same book? Like, what is this from? I guess it's the same thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to close this out before I get on a whole thing. All right. So I saw this reel on Facebook that was like, when you wrote a book that united a very niche fandom, ... And it shows this lady, this indie author, I presume, signing books. I don't know if she's trad or indie, but and so it shows her, and she opens up the book, and it shows her little dedication page, and she says, "For everyone who thought that Zuko and Katara should have ended up together."
I've seen that one. I don't remember what the book was called. What's the book?
The Elemental Arrangement series by M.K. Aaron, available on KU completed series, Any Brothers, Dragons, and Zatura. So yeah, so I saw that, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna save that in case we're interested. I would look it up sometime, but because it goes along with the thing we've been discussing a lot lately about the fan fictions becoming rewritten, becoming published novels. And I know the Harry Potter one with Hermione and Draco is a big thing, but like Zuko and Katara is another one that I'm like, I wouldn't think that.
There's one book, one of the few contemporaries that I've read. It was called The Love Hypothesis. It was about the girl that like pretends to date, like pretends to be with this professor guy or whatever. It was originally a Kylo and Rey fan fiction, and I saw that the other day, and I'm like, oh, okay.
How did that get turned?
So Kylo, a lot of the Kylo and Rey fan fictions aren't always set in Star Wars. Like several of them are like alternate universe style stuff, and that's becoming very popular amongst fan fictions too, where they'll take the characters, but they'll put them in like completely alternate reality, AU type, alternate universe style stuff. And some of them are actually like really like emotional, and some of them are just like, okay, this feels kind of like fanfare. But yeah, so I didn't
I mean,
realize
hey,
the love
that's the thing.
hypothesis um was originally a fan fiction. So I'm like, oh, so it makes me curious how many like books that we know of that were originally fan fictions that we just don't realize
Mhm,
because it wasn't really marketed too heavily that way. So it's
mhm.
like,
Yeah. Well, the Zuko and Katara thing caught my eye because, like, I was learning a new marketing technique that people were talking about, like, oh, do your comp things, but also be like, if you liked this thing and this thing and this thing,
mm-hmm,
but, and then add in whatever your twist was that you threw at it. So I was really trying to think hard about mine. And I was like, well, when you think about it, Hunter kind of has that
mm-hmm,
Zuko Katara kind of vibes, but like if they fell in love. And so I kind of wrote my own thing comparing Hunter to that. And so
cool.
when I saw that, I was like, kind of similar. Okay, so that was like interesting, but I didn't do elemental. Like the elemental aspect, I would be interested to see
Hmm.
how they do it
It
and
has a
make it different.
it has like a 3.4 stars on Goodreads, but Goodreads has always been notorious for not um being
Not having like a good
most
fair rating
relevant.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
not always been a
Yeah,
fair rating.
yeah. Um, so another thing that I had was we had already talked about this a while back, but I'd kind of forgotten about it, reminded me of it. And so Marissa Meyer's The Lunar Chronicle series is getting
Yes.
an animated movie adaptation
Mm-hmm.
by Warner Brothers Pictures and Locksmith. It's going to be out November 3rd,
Oh, cool.
28, 2028. But I didn't know it was going to be animated.
Oh,
So it could be, I feel like that could free up it to be
yeah.
cooler because
Considering,
like
yeah,
live
it's
action sometimes has those constraints.
it's definitely like a sci-fi fantasy. It's not like a fae elf type fantasy. It's definitely
Fairy tale
space.
retelling, it's like
It's
different.
like Cinderella's a cyborg.
Interesting.
Yeah, and from what I remember, there's Rapunzel, but she's like, I think she may be in space. I think there's Little Red Riding Hood is the book 2, and I think Crest, which is a Rapunzel, is book 3, I think. And then there's like a fourth one that was like a novella kind of style, I think. But I need to actually go back and read those for real. I read the first one when I was like in high school, and then I just lost interest in the others.
Mm-hmm.
Because I Cinderella is my favorite of the Disney princesses, and so I think I was like Cinderella, like variation of Cinderella, and so I read it and I was
That,
really into it,
yeah,
and then I'm just like I'm not a big fan of Red Riding Hood, and so I just
that
kind
makes
of I
sense.
got
We
I
never.
got like a few chapters in. I remember the start of it, but and it was actually it sounds kind of it, probably if I would have read it now, I would probably have been a little bit more interested in it, but I just
At the
didn't
time, that
then.
makes sense though.
Yeah, but it's actually a really good
So I never
story
read
though. It's
Cinder
a good
because I've
story.
never been a huge Cinderella fan. Like I love the classic one, but I've
Mm-hmm.
never like
Yeah,
it's not like my
it's
current like, oh,
it's
move on.
definitely a whole different vibe. It's like nowhere near the vibe of like the Crown of Naxia stuff. That's not that kind of fantasy. I would say it's like fairy tales but space. So it's maybe more sci-fi, I guess, but it's still I don't know. Fairy tales are still I consider fairy tales to be fantasy, so it's like a weird mesh.
It's a weird
It's
combo, yeah,
interesting.
but it's
It's
kind of
unique
creative.
in that it makes it very unique in that sense. So,
So I feel like the animation's going to be a good fit for it
yes,
then, since
I
it's
said
so
all
different.
that to
Like
say
there's
that.
going to be so many constraints,
Mhm.
with
With live
like
action
if
actors.
it was live action.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully this one you haven't seen. I'd be surprised if you did. So this next one actually was this interesting little story, like not an actual story, but like
Hmm.
it's about author Conan Doyle who killed Arthur, not author. I'm my brain tired. Okay, let me start this whole thing over. Arthur Conan Doyle, who
Okay.
wrote Sherlock Holmes in
Okay.
1893 when he killed off the character Sherlock Holmes. The public outcry was so intense that many called it a literary crime. Doyle wrote The Final Problem, which was a story where Holmes and his nemesis, Professor Moriarty, fall to their deaths in the Reichenbach Falls in
Oh,
Switzerland. He
yeah.
wanted to end the series for a simple reason. He felt the detective stories were a distraction from what he saw as his more important work, which was historical
Hmm.
novels.
Yeah.
The public did not agree. The reaction was immediate. Readers of the Stand magazine, where the stories were published, sent a flood of angry letters. An estimated 20,000 people canceled their subscriptions in protest. Legends from the time say that young men in London were so distraught they wore the black mourning bands on their arms for the fictional
What?
detective. Even Doyle's own mother
Oh, boy.
apparently wrote to him saying, "You can't, you mustn't, you won't." I wonder how much of this is over exaggerated from the legends, but it's still kind of fun to think about. So, under immense pressure, Doyle eventually gave in. In 1901, he published The Hound of Baskervilles, a story set before Holmes's death. Then, in 1903, he revived the character in The Adventure of the Empty House, revealing that Holmes had faked his own death to escape his enemies. The public's love for the character was so strong it literally brought him back from the grave,
That's
cementing
cool.
Sherlock Holmes as one of the most enduring figures in literature.
Oh,
And I was
that's
like,
cool. I love
that's
that.
cool.
It's the first cancel culture. Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. We're not getting into that. But
That's so
but
funny,
I love
though.
that though. It's like it just shows like, you know, I as much as I
Our
always
fans.
preach like let authors write what they want to write, at the same time it's like if you are upset about something, you need to voice it, but you also need to be respectful at the same time.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the writer is still a human being. They're not some fictional figurehead that's off somewhere.
What I would do to read some of those letters, because it was like
Oh my God,
1893. So like I wonder how it was worded, and hopefully it was polite for the time, but like I'm just curious. Dear Mr. Doyle, I am
how dare you?
that you murdered my lovely character. Like, I don't know. And can you imagine as an
My
author
life will
side of
never be
things,
the
like
same.
being like
Yeah.
writing a character that was so loved that the whole fandom
Mhm.
like was just like, no, you can't kill
Yeah.
this character off, and then you have like you end up writing a new one where never mind, the character's not dead. Like,
Can we do that with Luke
it's just
Skywalker?
hilarious.
Him being like, "Surprise! I'm not actually dead." You know?
Surprise!
Can we do
dated
that?
it,
Like,
it's
is that
all fake.
possible? Like, I know we can't do that with Carrie Fisher because she's gone.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, we could do that for the others. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
Han Solo is not really dead. It was all in Kylo Ren's mind.
Ooh. Oh, that's funny.
Okay, my cheeks hurt. Oh, yeah.
Alright.
So I had another one that was really intriguing.
Okay.
So it's the first look image that's been revealed for a new psychological period drama starring Sean Bean. I was like, he's gonna die. First thing, he dies in everything. He's gonna die. He is going to die.
No idea what the story's about, but this man is going to.
Yeah. No, he may not. I don't know. But it's a new dramatic interpretation of the classic tale of Robin Hood.
Oh.
It's a 10-part series that's titled Robin Hood. It's an MGM production. It's reimagined and psychologically driven version of the British folklore to hero, focusing on the historical and psychological depth of the characters. But Sean Bean is gonna, in a twist, is not playing Robin Hood. He is actually gonna star as the Sheriff of Nottingham, which is the antagonist of the tale. So Sean Bean is playing the bad guy. And I was like, that's an interesting twist. So the series is set after the Norman invasion of England and follows the love story of Rob, played by Jack Patton, I don't know who that is, a Saxton Forester's son, and Marion, who is Lauren McQueen, the daughter of a Norman lord. Together they fight against the royal corruption, with Rob becoming the leader of a rebel outlaw band while Marion works to infiltrate the court. And it's coming out November 2nd, 2025.
Ooh.
So, and it's relevant because
stuff.
Robin Hood's famous classic story.
Yeah, so there's gonna be like a lot of stuff coming up in the next couple month or so.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
November's gonna be busy.
It is. So another one that I found on Instagram was the Steven that we like watching that does books. He actually got a new special edition copy from Penguin Random House of Red Rising. So they're releasing a special edition copy, and I already have a paperback copy on my shelf, but now I want the special edition copy because it looks good. It's got sprayed edges. It's got the like a book box, so you slide it off the book and then the hardback's underneath it. It's got art on the front and back. You'll have to look at it. It's just gorgeous. And so that's on Stephen Walker's Instagram. He did a book kind of unboxing type thing, and it looks so good. It's got a map that kind of folds out. And I've been hearing really good things about Red Rising, but I've heard it's really sad. So I've been interested in reading it. So
okay, I do have something that I forgot about until you mentioned Red Rising. So earlier in August, Goodreads released The 15 most common DNF'd books according to Goodreads users.
Ooh.
And so there's a couple of them that I'm like, oh, okay. So Outlander was like one of the top ones with 1,240 top nopes. So Outlander. So it says with Okay,
Wonder
so
why.
okay, it
I
says
don't know
that,
why I didn't.
okay,
But
this list also skews towards very popular books. So while these books are commonly DNF'd, they are also very, very commonly read. Likely they weren't finished because they were so widely advertised, attracted readers who weren't the best readers for that book to begin with. And so it's like they kind of gives this little disclaimer at the beginning, kind of be like, it's not a horrible book. It's just it's not me, it's you kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's not, I'm not the problem, you're the problem. Kind of like in a nice way, though. I can appreciate that.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so books, Outlander was the first one listed. 50 Shades of Grey with 1,100.
Surprising.
The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. I don't even know what that one is. It's more like an adult novel, so I guess, that she's written. The Night Circus, The Book Thief, American Gods, City of Bones actually has 862.
What? Why?
Yeah.
I love that. My favorite books are all on here.
A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin has 838.
Oh my God.
Silver by Shiver by Maggie. Remember Shiver?
Yes.
It has 700. It has like 805 DNFs, I guess.
All these books that I liked or enjoyed at one point or another.
So Red
Not all of
Queen,
them, but-
Red Queen is after that one with 766. The Discovery of Witches, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children is, and then Allegiance by Victoria Roth. So like Allegiance, I think that's the third one in the series, right?
That's the final book. In
Throne of Glass is on there.
Can't blame them on that one.
The Magicians. I don't know that one, but I'm wanting to say I thought Red Rising was like the list that I saw on TikTok also had their Red Rising on there too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it has like a list, but it's pretty much all the popular books, and I'm just like, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting, and I'm like, but I can see that, like, you know, because they're read so often, you know,
you're always gonna have people that like DNF them at some point, even if they're like really popular and stuff. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, Steven's, it makes me, because I saw his review on it and it seems like a really good book. So now I want the especially the Red Rising, and I want to read it. That's
the one I saw that people were getting like emotional with when they were reading. That they said was kind of like really emotional, and so I'm like, oh, okay.
I accidentally saw a spoiler. I don't know what character the spoiler pertains to, but I did hear a spoiler, but I clicked away fast enough. I didn't hear the full spoiler, so I have an idea of what's going to happen, but gotcha. I don't know because I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, I haven't read anything about that series like at all, so I have like no clue.
Yeah. So Carissa Broadbent had posted this. It's like 2 weeks ago, so I'm a little late. But she has this quote. It's like him, and like the guy says "I love you," and that's like a 1 star.
That, yeah.
So instead of "I love you," you like basically what the guys say instead for her book.
I love this
and
book.
It's like, I know, I love it. So Rain is like, I would beg for you, I would. You have effing destroyed me, Aurea. You know that? I'm just like, ugh. And then the 6 Scorched Roses, Vale says, because I want only you, Lilith. Whatever of you I can have, I'll take 1 night, 1 hour, 1 minute. Whatever you want to give me, I'll have. And then I skipped Slaying the Vampire Conqueror because I haven't read that one yet. And same with Daughter of No Worlds. But the Songbird and the Heart of Stone, Asar says, I just played the notes that sounded like you. And I'm like, and that one's like, it's not, that was when he was playing the piano with her. And so it's not spicy, and it was just a genuinely emotional, like.
There's a quote that I highlighted that I would have done for that challenge. It was like, which part was it? I remember putting like 3 sticky notes on it because I'm like, this is like the perfect way to say I love you. It was like 240, where it's like, for whatever your mistakes, Misha Ilya, he said quietly, firmly, for whatever your faults, for whatever unintended pain you may bring this world, I will love you anyway. And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I was like, please, I need that in my life. Can I just copy and paste, please? Just like, I just like, it's perfect. So yeah, I love that. And she's also,
be careful with this post, because by clicking next, I saw the last one, which shows the guy character from the final book and a quote from his perspective.
Oh,
and it told me that I was correct in my guess on who the final book main guy was going to be. I've been suspecting him.
Oh, yeah.
And I was right. And I'm like so happy, because also my eyes has been on this dude for a while. I just couldn't figure out his significance. And so I was just like,
yeah, he's a very interesting character. He's like, he pops up everywhere. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so you know who it is, because I was trying to be vague and not spoil it for you.
Septimus, yeah. Because I've been looking.
Talk about it.
I've seen he pops up in different places, and I saw that it was the guy's name was Septimus, and so I'm like, okay. And so like as he's popping up, I'm like,
I'm so happy I can tell you the story now, because when I first read book 1, I think he came into a scene before Rain did, and my brain, I thought he was going to be the main guy for the first book. And before I found out Rain. And so for me, I'm like, he is main guy material, and I've had that thought from book 1. Yes. So I'm like, it feels very fitting. So I had my suspicions he was going to come back into play for the house when they get around to the House of Blood or whatever. So I feel validated.
Yes.
So, okay. Another thing that I had was actually a post from Henry Cavill. I didn't know that he was filming for a new remake of the Outlander show. Not Outlander. Sorry. Highlander. Highlander?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is it Highlander?
I think
my brain makes that sound wrong. And so he hurt his leg, and so he's actually like got a cast on and everything. He hurt his leg on set somehow. But I just Highlander is like this older show that, like, I don't know, it just gives me vibes that like I would like it. I just never watched it because it's older. So I like that they're remaking it, because now I have a chance to watch what it's about and everything. And if I remember right, our grandpa actually really liked the original show, because I remember him telling me about it before, but I've never watched it because it's old and I'm petty like that sometimes. Yeah. But I'm like, okay, and Henry Cavill's in it, and I'm like in an Outlander mood, and it's like, I don't know, not really the same vibes, but kind of, sort of. Yeah. So that was the other thing that I had.
Sweet.
Yep. So I am out of water, and that was my last thing that I had.
Yes. Carissa Broadbent has been marketing Daughter of No Worlds for a hot minute, and it makes me really want to read it.
Yeah.
Okay, and it said
also for authors, like, copy her, like, look at marketing for these big authors, find out what they're doing and mimic it with yours. I save so many posts because I'm interested, but also because I'm like, I could do that with mine. Like him quote, I'm like, do that with the I want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
So it's like the Daughter of No Worlds, the new cover comes out October 14th, so that one's coming up here pretty quick too. Right. And then the book 2's redo comes out in December, and then the book 3's redo will be in March.
Rapid release, baby. Or rapid re-release in this one.
Yeah. And then I don't think she has a release date set for the next Crown of Naxia series. I think it just says TBA, I think. So, like, the dates are TBA. She's announced the title, but that's probably in the love interest, but that's probably the extent of what she's announced with that one.
Yeah. I wonder if it's written, or and they're like, if they're in the editing phase, or if like she's still writing it. Like, my brain. Know.
Yeah, I feel like she's probably. I honestly, in my head, I could see her, like, re-releasing Daughter of No Worlds as a way to give her time to write, but still keep this quick pace of release.
Was she one that was a quick release for the first 2 books?
I think so.
I may be getting her mixed up with 4.
It felt pretty quick. I don't know if it tells me when. Okay,
Right.
so it's like the post that she's made about the reading order. I don't think it. Says the dates. Probably have to go to Goodreads for that.
Yeah, I'm going on
I don't want to click off of Streamlabs too low
Amazon.
because it mutes
Yeah.
itself.
Am I still here? No, I'm just
Yes.
kidding. Okay, so book one. Um, can I see when it was published without clicking on it? Okay, apparently not. Okay, hold on. Okay, on Amazon you have to scroll down forever. So I'm getting there. 2020, okay, December 5th, 2023 was book one. And then book two was June 4th, 2024. So a few months later. That's not actually that long. And then book three was November 19th, 2024. So a few months later.
I bet she.
And then this one came out this year. So that one was like the longer, between 3 and 4.
I bet she's already had some of these written. She's just never published them. That's what I'm at. That, or because I can't see her writing it, editing all of that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of like my situation. Sorry. I got caught up reading the blurb for the next book, and I was like, should I be doing this? I was like, I've already read the book 4, so I'm fine, but my brain panicked for half a minute. Like, I saw a name. I was like, never mind, you're fine. Okay.
That's funny. I'm just going to go to the series page. We're not reading things. We are looking for dates. Okay. Expected publication August of next year.
Okay.
So like roughly a year from now, which I feel like that's
book. So
yeah. So I feel like she's re-releasing these others, re-releasing the new covers in order to stretch out the time in between book 4 and book 5.
It sounds like for her stuff.
Yeah.
It's a really clever author thing, so
yeah.
Any other authors take hints of that. Yeah, so it'll be an interesting month. Also because of my surgery, I don't know if I'll be able to do live streams or not. I may, but I may not. So it's going to be tentative on that. If I don't, then you said you'll be live streaming and just covering all the topics, and I'll give you what to say, like, hey, I'm reading this book and I'm enjoying it or not. Whatever.
Yeah. So what will probably it could be 1 of 2 ways. Either we'll join like we've always done, or it will be just me and we'll do some talking. I'll do some. Joanna Ellison made some notes from what she's been doing, that kind of thing. So it's kind of just a toss up of what it will look like for a few weeks, but we'll still be consistent with the live streams, whether it's just me or whether it's the 2 of us or whatever. So,
yep, for sure. So it'll just be up in the air.
Yeah, but life can be unknown like that sometimes. So he's got to roll with the punches.
Certainly. Yep.
And let tomorrow worry about itself, because we've got enough to deal with in the moment. So that's my motto.
That is very true. Yep. Very good motto to have, actually. So.
And the Lord's got it all figured out anyway, so we don't have to do anything but just do what He tells us to, which is great. It makes life so much easier when you just actively stop trying to control everything. But I struggle with that a lot.
Like, I am a control freak. I really struggle with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's be honest, like that is probably one of the hardest things to do, is to like completely let go and be like, okay, He's got to take care of it. Like unless you're to the point, unless you're at like your wit's end and you're like, okay, Lord, I cannot handle this anymore. I need you to take it. And the Lord's like, I was waiting like for months for you to give this to me. Thanks for finally giving it to me. I appreciate it. It's like, I've been waiting so long for you to give this to me. Thanks. I appreciate it. You know, and it's just kind of,
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so.
That's so true. It's like,
he's just kind of like.
Sometimes you can't always control the anxious thoughts. It's like, you want to, but it's like the thoughts are just still there.
They
so
have,
it's like.
they sneak in. It's like somebody could say a word and then like for me it's like somebody I could see,
Triggered.
like it's like like I'll be scrolling through and I'll see like a short that'll say something, and then my brain will spiral to this one specific scenario where I said something and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna get a call in the morning, I'm gonna get called to the office, I'm gonna lose my job. It will like one word will just cause you to spiral, and it's just,
Yeah,
those thoughts are so hard to like
they really are. And
push
it's
out.
like lately, and I feel like me seeing David from Sight and Sound Theaters in
Yeah.
theaters was like, I have been listening to that sound. When I say I have been listening to that soundtrack on repeat, I am like,
Yeah.
every moment that I actually have to listen to music, I am
Mm-hmm.
just keeping that, because it's like the Psalms,
Oh
but like
yeah.
in music form, and it's really beautiful. And it's been filling me with Pete. God really has used that as like an
Mm-hmm.
anchor. And it's just like, also, we're watching The Chosen, the new season, season 5, and I'm like, stuff's about to hit the fan. Like it
Mm-hmm.
is in. I'm just
Yeah.
like, we're here already. And also, that I didn't realize, we're on a tangent here, but it'll be,
It's okay.
yeah, it's good. The Chosen's
It's a
awesome to watch.
midwestern, it's a midwestern goodbye.
Yes, it's the Midwestern
We're
goodbye.
standing by the front door. We haven't left the
Yeah,
house yet. They
left
haven't
the house
left, but
yet.
we're standing at the front door. That's where we're
Yes.
at. We'll get there eventually.
Okay, when you read the account of Jesus overturning the tables,
Mm-hmm.
I did not catch, I think it's in John or Matthew, one of those two.
Yeah.
And I did not catch that it says that Jesus made a whip.
Oh.
I don't know why. My whole childhood, I thought he just found one
I
lying
didn't
around, picked
realize
it up, and
that.
went to town on it. He actively took the time to make one and then
Wow.
go back and, overturn the table. He
Yeah.
like deliberately chose
Yeah.
what he, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I had to go back and
That
reread it
like
because I was like,
it just kind of
yeah, and I'm just like,
it's just like
oh,
it just illustrates how every emotion, and I try to like when we talk to my sixth graders about emotions, I always tell them like anger is an emotion that you're going to feel, sadness is an emotion you're going to feel, like you don't want to live in those emotions, but they're there and they're important for a reason, and so it's important to acknowledge that you're feeling that anger or that frustration and then move on with it. And like in that sense, that is a perfect example of righteous anger, and you know acting on that
yeah,
anger, but it's like at the same time it's just, yeah, it's really cool. I didn't realize that
yeah. And I
at
was just
all.
like, and it's just The Chosen. Also, I never, like, The Chosen does that so good with the in
Mm-hmm.
between moments. Somebody would have had to clean up the mess. And I never thought about that before, but there's somebody had to clean it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
And it's one of those things, like, you don't think about it when you're reading the Bible, but
Uh-huh.
it's like, okay.
It's
So, yeah, it's just
that
like everything.
it's like that awkward moment when you've been told that you've disappointed somebody important, and it's just like that, that awkwardness you feel afterwards where you have to try to pick everything up, pick the mess up afterwards, and you're just like,
Yeah.
well, didn't expect that would
Well,
happen. Like was
when
not
you're
on
like,
my
maybe
agenda for
you
today.
made a mess, and you're the only, like, it's like, this is my mess, and I just,
Uh-huh.
this is it. I've got to do
Living
this,
in
but
my
no one
mess.
else can do this but me,
Yeah.
I got myself into this.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just like, it's been great. But yeah, that was our tangent.
All
We're
right.
heading out the door. Midwestern
Yeah.
over.
All right. So let us know what you're reading. Send us some.
Yeah.
Send Joanna some thoughts and prayers if you pray. Send prayers if not. Send us some positive vibes and thoughts. Okay.
Yes.
And we'll live stream next week.
Yes.
Whatever that looks like. But we'll be
Whatever
here next
that
week.
looks like, people.
All
Yep.
right.
So.
Bye.
Bye.